In the early hours of Saturday, following a week of threats and weighing in military options, the U.S., backed by the U.K. and France, launched military strikes against targets in Syria. The airstrikes came in response to last week's alleged gas attack near Damascus that the West blamed on the Syrian government without any evidence. U.S. President Donald Trump hailed the joint offensive, boasting of its success. However, the Russian military said Syria's air defense systems managed to shoot down most of the missiles fired. Last year, following a suspected chemical attack in Syria's Idlib province, Trump also ordered missile strikes against a Syrian army airbase. The United States' unilateral military action provoked international condemnation. Now, by involving other countries, Trump has apparently attempted to legitimize the invasion and ward off the ensuing criticism.
It's clear, I think, that Trump wanted to disengage somewhat from Syria. Whether he wanted to delegate the responsibility more to the French and the British, the NATO partners, and basically continue America's pivot to Asia, or whether he wanted a more serious disengagement is an open question. It is clear that the false flag attack, the attack in Duma rather, was a false flag attack, and we have proof of that from the Russian military.
Meanwhile, the strikes against Syria have further fueled tensions between the U.S. and Russia, which have military presence in the war-torn country. Moscow had warned Washington against military action, calling for an independent probe into the alleged chemical attack in Syria's Duma. The U.S. president's insistence on a military response in complete disregard of Russian warnings has been met with criticism from the Kremlin. In a statement, Russian President Vladimir Putin denounced the strikes as, quote, an act of aggression against a sovereign state. Separately, the leader of Iran's Islamic Revolution condemned the U.S.-led invasion.
این حمله دیشب سحر به سوریه یک جنایت است. بنده صریحاً اعلام میکنم رئیس جمهور آمریکا، رئیس جمهور فرانسه و نخست وزیر انگلیس جنایتکارند و جنایت کردند.
Iranian officials, including the president and the foreign minister, also vented their anger at the military action, which has cast a cloud on efforts to resolve Syria's crisis through political means.
So the political solution to the war in Syria, of course, is the job of the Russians and the Iranians. They're looking for a political solution. The West is not interested in political solutions. This is a war of conquest. It's a war of aggression. It's a neo-colonial war. It has been for the last 7 years. The Western leaders should be before an international war crimes tribunal for crimes against humanity and war crimes.
True to form, some known backers of anti-Syria militants, among them Israel, threw their weight behind the U.S.-led aggression, which took place without UN consent. After the attack, Moscow called for a UN Security Council meeting that failed to condemn the airstrikes, with 8 countries, including the aggressors, voting against Russia's proposal. Undeterred by the aggression, Syrian government forces pressed ahead with their nearly 2-month-long offensive to liberate the eastern Ghouta region near Damascus. They managed to purge terrorists from their last bastion in the area, taking control of Ghouta. The defeat of anti-Syria terrorists is viewed as a serious blow to their Western and regional supporters.
Well, the Western military coalition has never been interested in a political solution to the problem in Syria for the simple reason that they are the cause of the political problem in Syria. It was the French and the British and the Americans who started the war in the first place. The war in Syria was planned long before the launch of the Arab Spring in 2011.
And the trilateral airstrikes were conducted precisely on the day when inspectors of a chemical watchdog were about to investigate the purported chemical weapons use in Syria. That said, there remains little doubt that the assault was not a response to an alleged chemical attack, but a reaction to the Syrian armed forces' success in the struggle to liberate their territory from international terrorism.
you.